So the Wales team to face Japan is out, and there is a bit of tinkering from Steve Tandy. So I'll go through the team. We got Nicky Smith, Derry Lake, Archie Griffin, Dav Jenkins and Adam Beard keep their spots in the second row, and then the back row, there's a big shuffle around as Wainwright moves to 6, Alex Mann moves to 7, and Ollie Cracknell comes in at 8. Then the back line is virtually identical to the last game. So you got Thomas Williams, Dan Edwards, Ben Thomas and Max Llewellyn in the centres. But then rees-zammit comes in for Tom Rogers on the right wing. Josh Adams stays on the left and Blair Murray stays at full-back. Then on the bench, we've got Liam Belcher, Rhys Carey, Kieran Azarati, Freddie Thomas, Tane Plumtree comes in, Kieran Hardy, Jared Evans and Nick Tompkins comes in, so Tom Rogers drops out of the squad completely. So the first place to start really is this back row. I'm a little bit concerned about this back row, I got to be totally honest. Of course they had to make changes due to Jack Morgan's injury, but I've seen Alex Mann play a few times for Cardiff at 7, and I don't think it suits necessarily his skill set. He can play there and he'll do a job, but international, I don't think he's got that out and out poacher to get in there. Hopefully I'm wrong. Wainwright being at 6 also concerns me slightly, because as this season and the end of last season's gone on, I've started to feel more and more that he's not a 6 at all anymore. He's an 8. His game is really revolved around his ball carrying, and I don't think he's going to get as many opportunities to do that ball carrying at 8. And his defence, in my opinion, has certainly paid a little bit of a price for such an improvement in his ball carrying skills. I think he's focused so much on that part of his game that he may have neglected the defence a little bit. That is a little bit of a worry, but I am excited to see Cracknell come in, and I think he can offer some go forward. And it does beef up the size of that back row a little bit, so that is a positive. Then the back line is as you were, not too surprised about that. Kind of hope that we may see a change in the centres, because I just don't think it worked. But given that it is, a short turnaround, there isn't much time. They didn't want to make too many wholesale changes. I understand that. Sticking with a partnership that's had games together, understandable. Rees-zammit comes on the wing. I think that's a pretty good idea. Blair Murray at fullback, he's come under a lot of criticism for his work under the high ball, and I think pretty rightly so. I don't think he's as bad in the high ball as he showed in the last game, but I still think that's probably the biggest weakness of his game. The advantage that they will have in this game is Japan don't necessarily have those really tall players in their back three to chase, so he might not come under as much pressure as he would in the other games. The two props changing, I'm not surprised, because it's a 6-day turnaround, so getting some fresh legs in there. Nicky Smith hopefully can attack the scrum from the beginning, and Archie Griffin can help with the ball carrying. So yeah, overall, I don't know how I feel about this. I think that team could beat Japan, don't get me wrong. I do worry about the back row, as I said. Don't really like the balance. The Morgan Morse of it all as well. It's a strange one, because he can play 7. They didn't bring a 7 into the squad because they said Mann and Morse can cover that position. Then Cracknell gets called into the squad late and gets on the bench ahead of Morse. And now there is a 7 position opening where Morse has played it fairly recently, I think in the Glasgow game for the Ospreys, and still not in the squad. So really interesting with that one. And on the bench, they've brought in Plumtree and not Morse. So yeah, I don't know. I would have hoped we would have seen a bit of Morse by now. We don't want to be blooding him in this South Africa game, which is going to be a bloodbath, if you don't mind the pun. But, Plumtree, he can come in, make an impact off the bench, versatility as well. So he'll have to take his chance with both hands. But yeah, I mean, Nick Tompkins coming in as well, offering a bit of experience and maybe a nod to there could be a change in that centre after this game. I don't know. But I don't think that centre partnership did really enough to warrant both starting in this game. But again, very limited time to prepare. I think they just wanted to keep as much continuity as possible, but there was enforced changes. So let me know what you think, and I will catch you on the next one in the review.